So I'm writing what I'm gonna write, and I'm in the middle of it, and I'm like, this would be like so helpful for other writers or other thought leaders. So I've got my notebook out. First step is I have a notebook and a pen hidden all around the house. Not necessarily hidden like you would hide a middle school journal, but I always have one easily accessible because I'll be sitting here like I was having my coffee, and I can sit still for a max of like 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh. So here's what I did. So I wrote on this notebook, I've got the rest of the months of this year, inclusive of May. And so I have on my calendar to write an article, like write a brand new article and submit a brand new article every month. The way that I do that is like on 1 week, I'll say, think about the article. On the next week, I'll say, draft the article. On the next week, I'll say, have the article ready. And on the last week, I'll say, prepare the outlet. This is just to tell my brain that I've got it going on. It sometimes happens all in 1 week, and it sometimes all happens the hour before. You know how it is. But if you don't do things like that, you will sabotage, at least I do, client relationships or other projects because you're like, this is keeping me from my writing. That's definitely something I've done before. But if you know that you're making time for it, great. And this doesn't really apply if you're talking about thought leadership. It's more of just creating the space to do it. So all that to say, at the top of my page, I have who do I want to reach? What do I want to say? And who is no one talking to? Who do I want to reach? What do I want to say? And who is no one talking to? So I just finished watching the Judy Blume documentary and I was crying my eyes out because it's just so beautiful how many people she's reached. And I started thinking about it because eventually I want to write books, like true fiction books. But there's something in me that doesn't feel like it's the right time. And it doesn't feel like a procrastinating voice, like a, oh, you'll do that later. So I have it last on my list. So I'm like, YouTube, who do I want to reach? Meditations, who do I want to reach? Articles, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, or more, smiley face. So next, what I was going to do is think about all the places I've already written. So where have I already been published, and do I feel called to go back there? What have I been saying, and who have been talking to? So kind of like just thinking through, like, because I wrote Friends Style in February, and that was really great. And it's so cool when you watch like old episodes of Friends and they're reading in style, and you're like, I fucking wrote for them. It's also cool when I look at all the logos that I've been in, but for some reason it doesn't click. I'm like, you're a published journalist. Okay. I think, so then I would think through like a couple outlets that would really make that feel wildly real. So like seeing my name in Cosmo because I grew up. You can be doing this with me, or I just thought this would be helpful. So let's say Cosmo, Vogue, that would be cool as hell. So you're just like brainstorming here, not trying to figure out how you're gonna do it. Health, Shape would be great because they're owned by the same people as in Style, so I'm very close to that one. Like Well and Good and My Buddy Green. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sometimes you'll write for someone and then you'll create a relationship with that editor, which will lead to you being a consistent contributing writer. There are people I know who are contributing writers for like 3 places. I've written for Forbes, I've written for Entrepreneur. Those are great. I don't really feel called to write about business, but Forbes has a platform called Forbes Vetted, which is more about shopping, and they're actually hiring full-time roles. So maybe that's something that I would do. So Cosmo, Vogue, Health, Shape, Well and Good, My Buddy Green. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 2 more. So then I just kind of like ask myself, like I'm like imagining I'm at Barnes & Noble looking at all the magazines. Oprah. O Magazine. So that's what came up. And then something fun, like the Drew Barrymore magazine or the Magnolia magazine. Okay, so now we have 8. So I've tried this before. You may have seen me do this, but I didn't know I was gonna do this. But then I would write out all the topics I think I wanna say, knowing I can change my mind, and then I would crossword puzzle them. So like I figure out who I wanna talk to. So mostly it's women, typically women from ages 28 to 58, really love my work. But I also have a really big calling to talk to women in their early 20s. That was kind of my answer to who is no one talking to. I think you're talked to a lot in college and you're talked to a lot maybe in high school, and you're kind of talked to a ton in the YA space. But then when you're supposed to be adulting, but you're not an adult, who is talking to you? For those of us who don't get married and have kids when we're 26, it's like, well, who is talking to us? Or them. I was them. Okay, anyway. So for that, maybe Cosmo would be a great platform for that. So I would match the topic, not necessarily the month, but like, so let's say in May, I'm really called to write about, should you be an entrepreneur? I'm not, but then I would just match that topic to the right publication. So, I mean, I have a PR degree and I've been doing this for a million years. So I know inside and out what every single publication talks about. Anyway, if you don't, you want to do that. So you want to spend a ton of time on the computer, in the library, in Barnes & Noble, purchasing these books and learning them in and out so that you know if what you're called to talk to, where it matches, and you'll learn more and more as you go. Okay, so that's what I would do there. And then that might take you an hour. It might take you all week. You might just do it once a month. Like, what do I want to say? Where should I say it? And the questions, again, in case you're wondering, was who do I want to reach? What do I want to say? And who's no one talking to? So on my YouTube, I would go through the same process. And then for my meditations, I would go through the same process, and eventually for books. So let me know what you think. Pop some questions below, and let's keep this convo going. Share this with a writer friend, okay? Bye, y'all. Have a good weekend.